The first sit I'm going to talk about is David Njoku. Njoku was targeted just once by quarterback Jacoby Brissett, whom only threw for 147 yards for the entire game. Njoku's value will come to light once Deshaun Watson is back, but for now, bench Njoku for the foreseeable future because it's not going to be pretty. Now the next sit I'm going to talk about is Evan Ingram. Ingram wasn't high in the pecking order in week 1 with only 4 targets, and I don't see him being high on the pecking order in week 2. Trevor Lawrence likes throwing to his receivers, and that should be the case against the Colts. Just try to look elsewhere at tight end in week 2 and go ahead and sit Evan Ingram. Now my last sit would be Hunter Henry. Who knows what the health of Mac Jones's back is at this point, and even with the healthy Jones, Henry was targeted in his offense less than Jonnu Smith. To begin the season, it was for sure Hunter Henry as the best option, not only at tight end, but a total receiving option. Now it needs to be a wait and see type of approach with Henry. Just stay away from the Patriots offense and including Henry in week 2. Now the first start at tight end in week 2 that we're going to talk about is Pat Freiermuth. Freiermuth was a big focal point for Mitch Trubisky. Freiermuth led the way in week 1 with 5 receptions on 10 targets for 75 yards. Freiermuth is the perfect tight end for a mobile quarterback like Trubisky. Think about it. Trubisky wants to limit his mistakes, and how better to do that than to just use your tight end as a safety blanket. So feel secure in starting Freiermuth in week 2. The next start will be Hayden Hurst. Hurst finally gets the opportunity to be the main tight end for a football team, and he did not disappoint in week 1. 5 catches for 46 yards is a solid day from a tight end who most likely wasn't even drafted in your league. Hurst could be a solid weekly start for your team week in and week out. The last start we're going to talk about is TJ Hawkinson. I really like Hawkinson against the Commanders in week 2. Jared Goff targeted Hawkinson 7 times in week 1 and should have plenty of opportunities against the Commanders defense. Unless you have one of the top dogs at tight end, I like looking for those who have opportunities. Hawkinson is the perfect tight end for week 2. Now on to the Bengal Tigers start of the week. The Bengal Tiger start of the week is going to be Dalton Schultz. Schultz is playing for an offense riddled by injuries, and with Cooper Rush now at quarterback, look for him to be seeking out that safety blanket, and that blanket is going to be Dalton Schultz. Schultz will be going against the Bengals in week 2, which isn't the best matchup, but just on the sheer volume of targets alone that he's going to be getting, he's going to have some solid numbers in week 2. Not to mention Pat Freiermuth just had 5 catches for 75 yards against the same defense in week 1. Start Schultz with confidence as the Bengal Tiger start of the week in week 2.